Today we are doing an exercise in art therapy. And art therapy engages the mind and spirit in ways that are distinct from traditional talk therapy alone. Research is showing that about 45 minutes of art making can reduce cortisol levels, a known stress hormone, from your bodies. Also, playing with clay, kinetic sand, polymer clay, or Play-Doh appears effective for people recovering from depression by strengthening emotional regulation. Getting around the limitations of language, art therapy uses visual, sensory, and symbolic expression to give voice to experience and empowers the individual to move towards healing and transformation. Today we're going to focus on a mandala. Mandalas are an art form that, for today's purpose, can help with feelings of stress, worry, and anxiety. Making a mandala helps reduce these feelings by focusing attention on the creation of the pattern. The repetition of patterns and rhythmic movement can help reduce triggered emotions and anxiety. Mandalas are made starting with a circle and adding repeated objects and designs. The boundaries of the circle and the repeated pattern can give a sense of control and calmness as you run through this exercise. Before we begin, remember that this isn't about creating art. You don't have to be an artist to do art therapy, but giving your emotions, thoughts, and ruminations a place to go and give you a release to help reduce the stress that you may be under. You do not need to be an artist or have any artistic ability or experience. All you need is to keep your mind open and your feelings present. Find yourself a quiet place and a time that is free from distraction. All you need is around 20 to 30 minutes or 15 to 10 minutes. Take whatever you can get. You can always come back to these exercises. Turn off your phone, your television, or any other distracting device, but feel free to listen to relaxing music. Stay present as you draw. Pay attention to your drawing utensil and how it feels in your hand and how it moves around on your paper. You can't make a mistake. Don't worry about erasing. Don't worry about proportions. It's neither good nor bad. Let your drawing take you on a journey of its own. And as it wanders on the paper, it's all about the process, not the technique. Skills have nothing to do with it. Okay, let's get started. We want to start with any kind of paper. The size doesn't matter. It's usually more fun if you have a big piece of paper. You can get butcher paper or any art supply, kids store, any kind of paper. And these pens are just simple pens that we've gotten from a kids section in a big department store. So whatever you have on hand, you can use crayons, you can use pens, pencils, whatever works for you. If you've got art supplies at home, you can really get fancy. But for today, we're just going to go very basic. So we're going to start with a circle. And the main thing to remember about a mandala is that we have a boundary, which is the circle, and then we want to repeat the pattern as we go. So we start with a big circle, just like this. You can use anything in your kitchen or your household. The lid from a big pot, which is what we used here, or your kids' toys, glasses, jars, whatever. Or you can freeform your circles. You can just draw a circle inside. You don't need to have all these lines and layers. If you want to freeform it and just start with the one circle and just start filling in from there, that's okay too. But for this demonstration, we've used inside circles that we're going to use as our guide. The next thing we want to do is to do a border. And you can do many kinds of borders here. This is stripes, this is little bumps, whatever you want to do, just start from the edge and start working in. So here's examples of different patterns. The patterns don't matter. This one's not quite finished yet, and neither is this one. Let's look over here to these ones over here. These are just examples of what you can do. You do not need to be an artist, and this is not a perfect project. This is whatever is coming through to you as you get your pen and you start drawing. So I'm going to use this sample here that we have and start filling in a few spots here. So why don't you get your paper and pen and let's start drawing. And as things come to mind, you can put them in, and then you can go back and put other things in. This is about repetition. This is about helping you think through what's going on in your life. And you know what's really fun to do is to do this with a friend. Because it's amazing all the things that you can talk through or think through. Another really fun thing to do is to listen to music while you're doing this. As you can see, we're starting to get a repetitious pattern here. And you can also mix up the different medium that you want. If you want to do some crayon and some pen and maybe some fancy markers that kind of do the paintbrush thing, that's always fun too. So we're just going to do a little squiggle in here. Once again, we're talking about repeating as we go. And as you can see, they don't have to be perfect. This is not a perfect art project. And I happen to have mine taped down, but you can move your thing as you go. That's all right. We just needed it to stay put for this demonstration. If you want to, while you're sitting here, you can think of something specific that you want to process. Maybe there was an event that happened that was a little bothersome. Maybe you had an argument with someone and you just need to think it through. This would be a really good way to self-soothe, to calm down, and to think through in a way that isn't supercharged with emotions. Doesn't matter what color you use, and it doesn't matter in what order you go. Oh, put one more in there. You can see that there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I don't have a set pattern in my mind. I'm just picking colors as I look in here and want to do things. They just appear on the page. So you kind of get an idea of what we're doing, and when you're done, you have this wonderful finished product. And if you decide you want to work on it at another time, you can come back and add more.